Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing the band Avenged Sevenfold for the first time, so we're starting with the official video for the song So Far Away. Here we go.
Never feared for anything, never shamed but never free. A life that healed the broken heart with all that it could. Lived a life so endlessly, saw beyond what others see. I tried to heal your broken heart with all that I could. Will you stay? Will you stay away forever? How do I live without the ones I love? Time still turns the pages of the book it's burned. Place in time always on my mind. I have so much to say, but you're so far away. Plans of what our futures hold, foolish lies of growing old. It seems we're so invincible, the truth is so cold. A final song.
Oh golly, this is a longer one than I anticipated. I'm grabbing my phone because I am very intrigued and curious to find out where this band is originally from. Okay, California. The reason for my intrigue is I feel like he incorporates a lot of different colors, and I feel like those are primarily dictated by vowel shaping. And so I just couldn't quite put my finger on it because there were moments of height in his vowels, there were moments of spread, places where you could hear a little bit of twang, other spots it felt like there was a bit more of an open pharyngeal sound, so I just couldn't quite, I couldn't figure it out. So we're going back. I'm going to try and point some of this out. I like that this song just sort of started right out the gate. Of course, everyone, loves a good intro, but sometimes it's just, I don't know, I found it really interesting that they just, at least that the vocals came in right away.
Never feared for anything.
Okay, if I were to say never feared for anything, never, that sound, and the way I pronounce fear, I'm not putting too much spread in that word fear, because when we think about vowel shaping, part of it is to facilitate, certain pitches and certain registers, but the other thing, it's about comfort. It's about ease. And so if I were to say never fear, I would be physically working harder to shift my vowel to such an extreme. So when you listen to the way he does it.
Never feared for anything.
Never felt very low, never fear. It's not so much that he's spreading, but I feel like that E sound sits so much higher instead of never fear. See, I'm even changing my never now. Never fear. It sits so much higher. One more time.
Never feared for anything, never shamed but never free. A life that healed.
Free. We got a little bit of a slide in there.
Never shamed but never free. A life that healed the broken.
Same with live. Lots of diphthongs, but they're sort of being amplified.
With all that it could. Lived a life so endlessly, saw beyond what others see. I tried to heal your broken heart with all that I could.
His tone is very gentle, and who knows how this song will develop or what else is in their catalog and how extreme his vocals might get. But in this moment, I just really appreciate it not only because of how it suits the song, but that gentle tone is allowing the consonants to sort of pop. And so I'm hearing every word. I'm not needing to look up lyrics to understand what's happening in the song.
Will you stay? Will you stay away forever?
Now, stay, that one pulled pretty forward, pretty high, a little bit more nasal. Ooh, but then then we get more height. This is so interesting.
Will you stay away forever? How do I
live? You can hear how tall that vowel is as opposed to singing live. It's so neutral.
Without the ones I love, time still turns the pages of the
pages. You could kind of hear that extra space. Listen to that word pages in contrast to what comes before and what comes after.
forever. How do I live without the ones I love? Time still turns the pages of the book it's burned. Place in time, always on my mind. I have so much to say, but you're so far away. Plans of what our futures hold, foolish lies of growing old. It seems we're so invincible, the truth is so cold.
I think my ears are really latching on to his pronunciation and now phrasing and how they sort of pair together. He's not clipping the words, but he's giving this sort of I always say sausage effect because I had a coach tell me like stop sausaging, and it was basically like I was kind of creating this like orb of sound and backing off, and orb of sound and backing off, kind of like when you imagine like a sausage link being made or links being made. This is kind of reminding me of that. Let me...
Foolish lies of growing old. It seems we're so invincible.
Seems we're so invincible. Like, it's just... I don't know. I need to come up with a better way of describing that. Almost like if you imagine kind of like jellyfish, the way a jellyfish moves, or some jellyfish. But yeah, that kind of or like a drop of water sort of thing. Like, we're getting the phrase, we're getting that through line, but he's creating these little pockets of sound that have this sort of swell effect. And part of that, I think, is also in his pronunciation.
Growing old, it seems we're so invincible.
So, big diphthong, so invincible. Again, giving us a big diphthong on that too.
The truth is so cold. A final song, a last request, a perfect chapter laid to rest. Now and then I try to find a place in my mind where you can stay away forever. How do
I know very little about California accents, and California's a big state, so I'm not, I know enough to understand that there will be variation throughout the entire state. What's surprising me, and the reason I had to look up where they were from, is there is a big emphasis on diphthongs, which I feel like we tend to hear more in like the southern United States. But that usually coincides with more spread and more width in a lot of sounds, and it's so tall. Like, that's what's, I don't know, my mind is just I'm trying to wrap my head around it, I guess, because it's an interesting sound, having these particular pronunciation combinations.
Without the ones I love, time still turns the pages of the book it's burned. Facing time, always on my mind. I have so much to say, but you're so far away. Sleep tight, I'm not afraid. The ones that we love are here with me. Lay away a place for me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be quiet soon, just so we can get through this. Those two lines, I feel like there was such a crazy good amount of breath pressure and control, because that phrase just, it was like a laser beam. Now that particular phrase and the one before it, I wasn't getting that sort of pulsing feeling from each individual word. It really did feel like that breath pressure was just getting him so much laser focus in that phrase, and it drives forward. There are a lot of, I know some singers are more visual, and so, you'll hear people talk about singing on the breath or imagining spin in your air and whatnot. It's all kind of the same concept, just delivered in different ways, because when you think about singing on the breath, it's really allowing that airflow to work for you instead of you trying to, what's a better way of saying this? I don't know. It kind of like you're riding a surfboard. You're riding a wave. Like, you want to just kind of drop in vowels and consonants while keeping that nice steady stream of air. Once you sort of master it, it can make singing that much more effortless. But getting to that point can sometimes be a struggle because of the way we use air in everyday life, in everyday speech. And so this is just, I think, a beautiful example of that really nice, consistent, steady stream of air.
'Cause as soon as I'm done, I'll be on my way to live eternally.
Okay, now I'm very curious how this is going to play out. Beautiful mix. It's so chest dominant and it's so full. And I like the smidge of texture that kind of gets sprinkled in. It's not overly present by any means, but it just adds a little bit of extra style to his vocal production. do a quick bit of research. I was picking up on the theme of loss throughout, but it wasn't until that video montage that I started to realize it was about their drummer. What a beautiful tribute. I do want to go back briefly to that ending section when the vocals drop in again. I might need to go a little further. Sorry. Here we go. I love that we're getting to hear more texture from this lead vocalist. I also enjoy the harmonies that are in here. They're a little rough. They're a little edgy, especially because the lower voicing just seems a bit monotone, but they match so well. I don't know if another band member was doing that or if the lead vocalist did both in studio, but it's just, I really like that sound. It's such a sharp sound. Let me play that one more time. I mean, you can see, granted, I know this is a music video, but I like to assume that the habits we see in videos, even if they're lip syncing or if there's a dub happening, or I don't know if dub is the right word. I like to think that those habits are consistent throughout and they're not just doing it for show, you know? So what's impressing me is the spread that we're seeing here. Even see that tiny little shake at the end, which makes me think it's even more true to performance, because oftentimes you'll see singers do that to create a bit of vibrato. Last time. That's me. Your pain is gone, your hands are tied. Last Far Away, what a beautiful balance of both texture and tone. It seems like usually it always leans one direction or the other. It feels more sung, golly, feels more sung with some added texture, or it feels more textured, almost like a scream, and so we lose a lot of the tone, the singing tone, but this I feel like was just like smack dab in the middle. I don't think I have much more to say on this one. The big takeaway for me vocally was how many colors he was able to incorporate in his vocal tone, and I think a lot of that had to do with vowel shaping and his pronunciation. It was also very cool to hear something a little bit more intense and more textured toward the end, but obviously I think the main purpose of this particular song and video was to just be a really beautiful tribute, and I think they did that really well. From the little I read about the band prior to watching this video, I got the impression that it's kind of hard to pick one song that really captures their essence and who they are as a group. So if you have any recommendations, please feel free to comment those. I want to hear more. I guess I don't know if this was a good representation of their music or if this was just something very different because of the content and what they were trying to do with it. So you'll have to let me know. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.